I don't like when someone gets by just because they're famous and they have this big personality and everybody loves them. The problem with that is people are going to be rooting against him now in the next fight. And so now he's going to go in there against someone, and maybe he's going to go in against someone who's on another level.
They talk so much. They act like they invented the sport. They talk, and at the end of the day, they do what they are told
The UFC world is ablaze with drama as Joe Rogan has jumped into the chaos following Ilia Topuria's airport clash with Khabib's team, calling it a war the UFC must book immediately. Meanwhile, Jon Jones has reignited his bitter feud with Daniel Cormier after Cormier claimed that, given the chance, he would have killed Jones. Adding to the turmoil, Justin Gaethje is threatening to walk away from the sport over repeated title snubs, while Paddy Pimblett is being publicly dismissed by top contenders who want no part of it.
Gaethje doubles down. He says it's down. He says it's title or bust.
You haven't mentioned the name Paddy, and I think I'd probably understand why.
No, absolutely. Absolutely not. If that's...
Jon Jones has reignited his rivalry with Daniel Cormier, declaring himself the most painful thing that's ever happened in Cormier's life. This fiery remark came after Cormier stated during a UFC broadcast that, if given another chance, he would have entered Jones's house and killed him. In response, Jones took to social media, saying, "A blind man can see the mansion I own in Daniel's head. I just didn't realize how deep his hate still runs. Those whippings must have left more than bruises. I feel like I'm the most painful, the thing that's ever happened to that man's life. Emotional damage." Naturally, Cormier didn't stay silent.
The beef between Daniel Cormier and Jon Jones will never end, it seems. You know what I mean? Daniel Cormier says he just is really not the smartest person. During a segment on the UFC 318 weigh-in show, Cormier was asked about where he would like to fight his enemy if he could. And the former two-division champ said he'd like to do it at his house because I kind of want the ability to end him. Jones, in a pair of deleted tweets...
Cormier responded on his YouTube channel, immediately making it clear how off-base Jones's comment was. He reminded viewers that he tragically lost his daughter in a car accident in 2003, saying, "You can't say you're the most painful thing that's happened in a person's life when they've lost a child. That's the craziest thing in the world." He went on to add, "You say you're the most painful thing in someone's life when they've lost a child or had their father murdered, and he knows that that's why you know you're dealing with a different type of human being." Cormier emphasized that Jones knowingly makes such remarks, despite being fully aware of the personal tragedies others have endured.
I wanted to kill him at my house. Those assholes must have left more than bruises. I feel like I'm the most painful thing that ever happened to that man's life. Emotional damage. Okay, lot to unpack there. I do a job. I can't omit that. No, actually, because of our history, people want my take on what's happening with Jon Jones more than anybody. But we can't fight. So it's like, why would I let you occupy space in my head? Only an insecure person would go, immediately, he's talking about me.
It's very well documented what has happened in my life, Cormier said, referencing both the death of his daughter Caden and the murder of his father. But he didn't stop there. He also questioned Jones's intelligence, saying, "He just really is not the smartest person." And once again, it's proven. Cormier pointed to Jones's repeated failed drug tests, which not only tarnished Jones's legacy but also robbed Cormier of the chance for true closure. In past interviews, Cormier has said that Jones's doping violations never let me settle. The two have fought twice, with Jones winning both bouts, though the second victory was later overturned to a no contest after Jones tested positive for TB.
I'm only talking about what is the news now, and also how stupid he is. But that's Jon Jones that thinks about me. He's still trying to fight me. When I'm retired, they got a dude that wants to fight him and literally begging him to fight. And somebody tell Jon Jones, get off my page, man.
It's clear that this loss still haunts Cormier not because he can't accept defeat, but because he believes Jones never beat him fairly. This only adds to the frustration, especially when Jones publicly uses their rivalry to taunt him. Many pros have argued that Jones crossed a serious line by implying he has mentally damaged Cormier more than real-life tragedies ever could. Too much of the UFC community. This isn't just disrespectful, it's tone deaf. There's a clear difference between standard fight trash talk and mocking someone's deepest personal loss. And this time, Jones's comment crossed that line, straying far beyond the realm of
how
competition.
deep his hate still runs. Those ass whoopings must have left more than bruises. I feel like I'm the most painful thing that ever happened to that man's life. Emotional damage. But if I was DC and I got beaten twice, dreams ripped away from me,
Still, Jones has always been willing to push boundaries with his words, and this isn't the first time he's brought up Cormier's emotions or past during a public spat. However, Judging by Cormier's reaction, this particular comment struck a deeper nerve not because of their rivalry itself, but because it showed that Jones either doesn't care or deliberately ignored something he unquestionably knows. Cormier put it plainly. Asterisk, you cannot say I'm the most painful thing, but like I said, you're dealing with a different type of person. With tensions this high, it's hard to imagine this rivalry ever truly ending. Meanwhile, Justin Gaethje has hinted he might walk away from the sport entirely if he doesn't receive a long overdue title
Gaethje
shot.
doubles down. He says it's down. He says it's title or bust.
You haven't mentioned the name Paddy, and I think I'd probably understand why. I mean,
No, absolutely. I mean, absolutely not. I mean, if that's the route that they want me to take, then I don't believe that they need me anymore.
Will he retire? Is this the end? Will he fight on the White House card? Who knows what's going to happen with Justin Gaethje in the future.
Gaethje's manager, Ali Abdelaziz, has recently told Submission Radio that Gaethje is seriously considering retirement if the UFC doesn't book him for a lightweight title fight. Abdelaziz explained, asterisk, if anyone says he doesn't deserve a title shot, Justin said, I'm not going to fight for the title, I'm just going to hang up my gloves. Asterisk. He added that Gaethje feels overlooked despite his contributions to the sport, saying, asterisk, he feels disrespected. He loves the UFC, but he feels the UFC has to love him back. Right now, he doesn't feel that love.
Could be nice for Justin Gaethje fight the winner. He won 3 of his last 4. He saved the UFC 2 times. Yeah. They needed him, and he's there. The guy did so much for the sport. And if anyone said he doesn't deserve it, and he said, I'm not going to fight for the title, I'm just going to hang up my gloves.
Really? So if he doesn't get a title shot, that could be it? We might not see Justin Gaethje again?
Yeah, Sean is a very principled guy. And
Gaethje believes he's earned a shot at the lightweight belt, having defeated top-tier opponents, Rafael Fiziev and Dustin Poirier in 2023. His knockout victory over Poirier even secured him the symbolic BMF title, leading fans and analysts to believe he was next in line for a title shot. However, everything changed when Max Holloway, moving up from featherweight, knocked Gaethje out cold. Holloway dominated the fight and sealed it in the final second with one of the most brutal knockouts the sport has seen in recent years.
Owe him a favor for him stepping in for UFC 300. I just want your thoughts on that.
So everybody has, their opinions on. Listen, if you're thinking about retiring, you know how I feel about that. You should probably retire. We love Justin Gaethje, and Justin Gaethje did step up, and he's been an exciting, fun fighter to have here in the UFC. But to say, hey, listen, unless you give me a title shot, I'm retiring. That's pretty wacky.
That loss completely derailed Gaethje's momentum. He disappeared for nearly a year before returning this past March to face Rafael Fiziev again. But the victory didn't carry much weight. Fiziev was a late-notice replacement, hadn't fought in over a year, and was coming off 2 consecutive losses. Beating that version of Fiziev didn't put Gaethje back on top. Meanwhile, Charles Oliveira jumped ahead in the rankings and is now set to face Ilia Topuria for the lightweight belt at UFC 317. Gaethje feels left behind, but many argue the UFC made the right call. He's 0-2 in undisputed title fights, having been finished by both Khabib Nurmagomedov and Oliveira. While his BMF title win over Dustin Poirier was exciting, it didn't prove championship-level dominance. The Holloway fight, in particular, raised doubts about whether Gaethje is past his peak. Holloway moved up from a lower weight class and outclassed him in every department. Gaethje had no answers that night, and the brutal knockout could have easily ended his career on the spot.
Retirement or title shot. He talked about how the UFC begged him to fight Max. I think any smart fan at the time knew that whoever won that fight or lost that fight was going to get a title shot and then lose a title shot. Justin seems very bitter about the Max fight because he comes back, he beats Fiziev, he looks good doing it. But it's like, bro, Armin is going to fight Ilia. I've been very vocal about Armin having another fight before a title shot, but that's most likely what's going to happen. And the fact that
Gaethje is attempting to re-enter the title picture, but the lightweight division has moved on, with undefeated Ilia Topuria carrying massive hype and Charles Oliveira, who already submitted Gaethje, still in his prime. Meanwhile, Gaethje has been fighting older, less dangerous opponents and hasn't put together wins over top contenders since 2023. While fans remember his epic war with Dustin Poirier, they also recall his losses where he was dropped, submitted, or carried out of the cage. Despite this, Michael Bisping believes Gaethje's legacy is secure, saying that even if Gaethje never becomes a champion, he'll likely enter the UFC Hall of Fame for his excitement, performances, and embodiment of a true warrior spirit.
So, I mean, the thing is that the direct quote was, once I know that, Jim just one fight with one, then I'm gonna, I might as well, I can't believe I reached that point. Whether I'm the champion or not. Who knows? I can't go on for this time. If I prove that I just make a flip, I'm done. I'm not doing it 3 more or 2 more times. I'll do it all the time if I have to.
Gaethje has always been known for his relentless pressure, violent style, and ability to put on a show for the fans. But title shots require more than just excitement. He's had multiple opportunities and failed to capitalize, so many believe the UFC is justified in looking elsewhere. If Gaethje doesn't like that, retirement might actually be a realistic option rather than just a threat. Meanwhile, Joe Rogan has weighed in on the growing tension between Ilia Topuria and Islam Makhachev following their airport altercation and Topuria's knockout of a member of Khabib's team, calling it exactly the kind of grudge match the UFC shouldn't delay booking.
Вместо Конора Илья Topuria может быть?
Не, он хороший парень.
Да.
Пытается быть кем-то.
Commenting on the rising tension, Joe Rogan described Ilia Topuria as a killer, stressing that he's not afraid of anyone, especially not Khabib or Islam Makhachev. Rogan added that Topuria isn't interested in playing the humble game. He's there to make bold statements, and his recent actions prove
where they're at in their careers.
So basically, I still edge Khabib.
This is what we, but Khabib 29-0, Ilia 17. If Ilia keeps this up for 2, 3, 4, 5 more fights, he leaves him in his dust. Agreed?
Certainly agreed. Because the early UFC fights for Khabib were not against upper-level echelon fighters, and from here on, Ilia Topuria is only going to be fighting upper echelon.
And they will almost all be title fights.
And they will
be.
The tension escalated when Ilia Topuria and members of Khabib Nurmagomedov's camp got into a heated verbal altercation at an airport, which quickly turned physical. Reports claim that punches were thrown and that Topuria himself knocked out one of Khabib's teammates. While no full footage has been released, eyewitness accounts flooded social media, confirming the scuffle. Shortly after, Khabib posted on Telegram, writing "respect and honor mean nothing to this guy. You don't hit people at the airport. You want to fight, come do it in the cage." The message was clearly directed at Topuria, but it didn't faze him. In response, Topuria shared a gym photo captioned, "I don't fight for respect. I fight because I can't stand fake legends." Making it clear he wants Islam Makhachev next and sees no reason to wait behind Arman Tsarukyan or anyone else.
Islam is not going to fight Ilia Topuria, and it's for one reason. Khabib himself said this was our problem with it. He has not proven. And when that comes, it can only go up or down. And if it goes down, we don't need a win over a guy that's down. So come and improve. Fair point. Islam would like to go to 170, and he would like to challenge for the championship of the world. Anybody at 170 to say, "I'm not going to face you because you have to prove yourself." You see where it becomes
Joe Rogan's reaction came shortly after Khabib's statement, emphasizing that the UFC needs to move quickly to capitalize on the moment. He highlighted that this is exactly what sells tickets *, real emotion, real beef you can't script. This. Rogan praised Topuria as the real deal, *, noting that both Khabib and Islam know it. He added that Topuria doesn't rely on trash talk, but when he does speak, *, it's straight up savage.
But since he decided to run away, it has to be Charles. But with me coming up, he was like, I don't have to take this risk. I'm going to move up to the 170. I'm going to try to get another belt. And that's all, because he knows that I'm dangerous. He knows that I'm going to put him to sleep. Even
Rogan also reminded fans that Topuria possesses knockout power in both hands and the confidence to back it up, saying that calling out the champ isn't just talk. He believes Topuria has a real shot. The MMA community's response has been split. Bilal Muhammad tweeted, * that airport story is wild, but that's what happens when real ones run into each other. Dustin Poirier chimed in as well, writing, * Topuria got fired up, but he better come correct if it's Islam. Meanwhile, Sean O'Malley commented during a Twitch stream that * Ilia is a gangster. He's not trying to play nice with anybody.
Fighting any of them, the thing they need when they go inside the octagon, in the first contact, they want to feel that they dominate you, and they start to build a confidence since that. But if they feel in the first contact, in the first round, but that they can control you, that it's very competitive, they head goes down. All the competitive fights, they lose.
Islam Makhachev has yet to respond directly to the airport altercation, but posted a cryptic message on X saying, * all talk outside the cage. Inside, different world. * while Khabib's cousin Umar Nurmagomedov tweeted that Ilia Topuria isn't ready and will be taught a lesson by Islam. Whether the UFC books Makhachev versus Topuria or goes with another contender remains uncertain. Meanwhile, Paddy Pimblett is struggling to secure an opponent for his planned October return in Abu Dhabi, as both Justin Gaethje and Dan Hooker have publicly rejected fighting him, dismissing the matchup as either a waste of time or too risky.
Yeah.
Like crazy.
It's gonna shake up lightweight in a big way. It's I still get called a prospect, know what I mean? So once I beat Michael, that's gonna change. I'll be in the top 7 fighters in the world behind Islam Makhachev. I'll be asking for a top 4 fighter after that.
Me versus Charles. Fuck Armin. He's a little helmet.
Speaking to ESPN, Gaethje firmly shut down the idea of facing a lower-ranked opponent, saying, absolutely not. If that's the route they want me to take, then I don't believe they need me anymore. He explained that he's currently ranked No. 3, has won 3 of his last 4 fights, and should already be fighting for the title. The champion was calling to fight me and he vacated. They bring in a new guy and give a guy who is no to the fight, Gaethje said, referencing Charles Oliveira getting the Topuria fight instead of him. He made it clear that if the UFC plans to use him to build other fighters' brands, he's out. If their algorithm and matchmaking are just to use me until I get beat, then I'm going to have to really reevaluate what I'm doing here.